ここは
どんな客人も歓迎いたしますよ。私はヘドン。この塔の管理人。
Hey everybody, welcome back. Another episode for Tower of God. Today we're talking about Season 1, Episode 5, and Season 3, Episode 59, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's right.
And if you have the Webtoon app, at the time of this recording earlier today, we got a notification that on the shop for Webtoons, there's Tower of God shirts now.
We did make it, man. No. We made it. We didn't make it, but we in it now, man.
Excuse me. Yeah, man, it was pretty cool, dude. Just, it's your generic anime, like Hot Topic stuff. Nothing too crazy, but it's cool to see that we have merch. I was just like, yo, are the volumes translated now? That's what I was thinking.
Dude, not yet, man. Not yet. We'll see it soon, though. I have a feeling. Dude, well, they have the Korean ones that dropped a little while ago.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about it on the last episode, but when we were talking out before recording, it's like, yeah, remember we met that guy at AX? He has that shirt, man. I wonder where he is now.
Dude, I wonder where he is now, dude. I hope he's doing okay.
Just want to shake his hand and be like, hey, we made it, dude. We made it. So, all right, man, let's go ahead and get right into it. Episode 5 of the anime, The Crown's Fate. And good episode overall. Finally got to see Best Girl. She wasn't name dropped, but I saw on the My Anime list, it's not Andrassi, it's Endorsey. Which, I don't know how I feel about that. I think that's on them.
0 out of 10.
If you remember episode 1, right, there was some backlash with the fans. It's like, yo, these subtitles are wrong. What's going on? So maybe that's the same thing here, hopefully.
I'm hoping so, man, because Andrassi sounds a lot better than Endorsey. It just reminds me of that meme that we saw in the in the Tower of God Discord, man.
That's all I think of, man, is I'm like, that's a fucking meme. That's just a meme name.
It is though, man.
I think you saw it too, right, Gerry? Where it's like it was that meme where it was like the 4 different panels of like the guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I like my Andrassi.
Andrassi, yes, that's correct. The correct term. I don't know if you guys remember last episode I talked about how, they kind of shuffled stuff around. We didn't get to see Bam and Rack really do things, what they did in the manhwa, and then all this explanation jargon, from Shibisu and all that. Well, they kind of threw it in here. So I like how they set it up with the shuffling. I think it's a good way to start the episode with some exposition, and then we could get into the action. That's a smart way to do it.
I definitely agree. I think I said this before. I like the way that they're plotting out each episode. I mean, some of it is 1 for 1, and the rest of it's just really nice. Like it flows in a way that I was not expecting it to go. When I first read the chapters, and even rereading them after each episode drops. So it's really refreshing.
Yeah, again, it's just real interesting to see what how they adapt it. And one of my problems was, to my surprise, because I didn't read the chapters coming in, because I figured I'm going to watch it first now, just because, again, this episode also reminded me, I forgot a lot of what happened in Season 1.
Right.
And to my surprise, hey, look, there's Yuri. We got some stuff with her. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I was like, wait, but did she have this whole crew with her? I didn't remember. And then sure enough, they were there.
Yeah. But
it was a lot of not a lot, but half of it was pretty much cut out for content, which, again, I don't like it when they do that, because it's essentially world building into the rest of the tower, right? Because they're trying to find a way to get to the test floor so they could find Bam and all that. And in the manhwa, they said, oh, did you find a path? It's like, yeah, Yuri, we found one, and it's over here next to this this eel nest. And then they start explaining it. It's like, well, the reason they're there is because of the high concentration of Shinsu. And then Evan says, like, well, yeah, it's not a problem for her because she's, she's used to having high density Shinsu, or it doesn't affect her as much. And we didn't get none of that in the anime. I was bummed out about that.
Yeah, and to go along with that too, Danny, I think this is the second or third time that the anime loses the chance to describe or at least show what a guide is, or how the anime said it, or they call them a navigator, and I feel that,
or they fit into this whole thing too, like even more world building at that, like at least give that whole Yuri part where she's with everybody a little bit more exposition, like that I feel like that would have been good if like just to go a little bit deeper in the world.
I completely agree. Plus, the concept of a guide becomes so important later on. I think that either they do it in the season 1, which I feel like they're gonna have to, with Hiwa Ryun now coming in, or I can't remember if there's another scene with Evan and Yuri. I'm pretty sure there is, but this whole concept of guide needs to be brought up to the anime, because
they have to show it, like at least in the next few episodes. I hope.
Yeah, I completely agree. And to go again with what you were saying, Danny, rereading the chapter, I reread it twice, the few of them that encompass the episode, and there's a good amount of that world building that was left out. And this is not the first time that Yuri gets the short end of the stick, and I don't really know the reason for it, besides maybe like a couple extra minutes in the episode. But I feel that those factors need to be mentioned at some point in time, especially since we had the reveal of Auric Mizuno, which, man,
the boy.
If I
got goosebumps.
Look, dude, I watched the episode a little late today, because I had to do some stuff. But every time I went on Twitter, it was like every single page, every single account that I follow that's a Tower fan, they were like, dude, how did one shot shake the entire community? And I saw that shot, I was like,
fucking
dude,
Chad Mizuno,
man,
bro.
This is what I'm waiting for, man. That's my boy right there, dude.
Nope. Fucking got Eminem on screen, bro.
Nobody's ready for this guy.
Yeah, man. But yeah, to add on what you were saying about Yuri, Adam, like I said in the first episode, I'll say it again. It doesn't feel like season 1 Yuri. It just, I don't know why they're deciding to go this route. I mean, we have to remember SIU is kind of helping out with all this stuff. So, I trust that he's doing the right decision for the anime audience.
I'm going to be with you on that one too, man. I mean, the guy's a mastermind as it is. He might be doing something that we can't speculate on yet. Maybe there's some type of character development that he wants Yuri to have going forward.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
That's my first idea, but I mean, it's just so different from the Yuri that we remember that I don't really know where to speculate the character development that he wants for her, as long as he stays on track with the source material. But I mean, we'll see. I will say it's always nice to see Yuri. She's right next to Ann Dorsey. She's those two.
Whoever the hell that is.
Dude, those two though, and then my girl Hiwa Ryun, man.
Hiwa Ryun.
Those are, dude. Those are the big three. The big three. You know what I mean?
So here's one important thing that they left out. Involving this Yuri scene, right? Because they cut a lot of dialogue out, and they showed it off, right? That's the big tall guy that was with Yuri. Forget his name. He was explaining to Yuri in the manhwa that it's like, we can't you see this badge. This means I'm one of the strongest in the tower. I'm up there in the ranks, and if I say that Shinsu is going to be a problem, then it's a problem. And she said, like, well, I know somebody who doesn't even bother with Shinsu. Like, he runs into it, referencing Bam when he went to go fight the eel, right, on the first test. He's like, well, if you can find that person, he could have my badge. She's like, well, that's where we're going. Get ready to get rid of that badge. And that's when Evan says, he's like, I wouldn't be too happy about that. He's pretty dangerous. I felt like that was really important for what we got in this episode right at the end with Bam.
Yeah, this might be one of those things that I mentioned before. I feel like the way that they're adapting the manhwa, I think there's a rhyme and reason to it. We can't really see it, but I feel like we might get a lot of these little details later on. And I really hope that we do, because they're going to be very important. It's unfortunate that we don't get it right away, but these are things that have to be noticed in season 1. So we've got 8 more episodes. it's got to come sooner or later.
It might feel like it's taking a while longer because, you know, everything was readily before us. Like, if we wanted to know more, we just read the fucking next chapter. So this now is like, maybe there's way too much info to fit into like one episode. So they're like kind of like leaving breadcrumbs, if you will, like along the way. Or hopefully they start doing that. This is only like episode 4 or 5.
Yeah, again, it all comes down to how they're going to pace out the rest, right? Because I think we're still on track for 6 chapters an episode, which sounds like a lot, right? Especially because it's a webtoon, and
Right.
these pages they're really stretched out, you know, Laffy Taffy status. Yeah, I just wonder how they're going to do, especially when we get deep into the Shinsu and all that. Once we start actually learning about, oh, here's what we can do, here's what the classes are, here's the team building, and then now at the end of this episode with Rachel involving herself with all these characters, now we're going to have more of her character development coming in.
They left that sort of same breadcrumb, I guess, if you will, like from when like Literal was talking to Han Sung Yu, and then what do you say? Anybody who could, what do you say? Is there possible for somebody to use Shinsu outside of the administrator's rules or some shit like that? And then he's like, no,
Yeah.
that's like breaking that's like breaking the law of the tower. And I'm like, that's already like that's kind of a big
A hint.
yeah, a hint of like how
Yeah.
big the fucking world is, and like there's regulations along the way, but there are people who literally like say fuck that, and then just like Yuri said, run towards the fucking Shinsu, you know? I appreciated that information too, cause like if I was new, I would have just like listened to that and then just started thinking about it more, like how big is this world, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to say I was surprised when they dropped Urik's name and they showed him off, you know, just his back.
Oh yeah.
That was a big surprise for me because I'm like, man, if you don't know what's going on with this guy, and they just showed his back and they're like, who's this? It's like, oh, get ready, bro.
I need to download Twitter again, dude. Fuck.
Look, dude, they didn't show his feet, man. They showed his back. Like, here's the power of this man. You can't even see his feet yet. No, but what I really did like about his reveal, and going along with what you were saying, Gerry, is that, you know, it does give you that breadcrumb of also, okay, I think this is the second or third time that we get a statement about irregulars and how powerful they actually are.
Yeah.
And what they
Yep.
do to the tower. You know, so now you, especially with what happened with Bam towards the end of the episode, now it's like, okay, this is a real thing now. You know, like, this kid is not just some, like, little, you know, twink running around. Like, this guy has some actual power, but he doesn't even know it yet.
For real.
You know, and we've got, then they show big old Chad Mazzino, like, okay, we know this guy's hot shit, but how does Bam
yeah, you know
get
he's
to that
a fucking
point?
power player in the so-called tower. It's a premonition of what's gonna happen later. Like, Bam is somehow gonna meet fucking Mazzino.
Yep.
Or fight. Whatever, dude. Whatever anime brings us.
It's a really good, I mean, the more that I watch these episodes as they come out and then I reread the chapters, I realize how much foreshadowing was done. You know, like,
yeah.
it was just back to back to back to back, you know, and since we all know what's going to happen, I'm just excited for the newcomers, man. They're having a great time. Like, my brother's watching it right now. And, you know, after I watch the episode, I always go and ask him. He goes, oh, I watch it when it drops. And I'm like, okay, how do you feel about it? He goes, I really like it. You know, the people, like, all my friends that I talk to, you know, like, every day, they're all really liking it. And I'm like, that's cool. But you should also read the webtoon, you know, just kind of see what the differences are, you know, see what the source material really is. And I promise you'll still enjoy it. You know, it's just a lot to read. But if you keep on pace with when the episodes drop, you'll be in good shape.
Yeah, and I think that is important too, if you do want to keep going with the series, because as much as I want to see the anime keep going, it might eventually stop, right? Season 2 is pretty big, right? I was going through the wiki again, trying to find a specific chapter and just seeing all these arc names and then the sub arcs in there, and I was like, wow, I forgot how big Season 2 was, how long that lasted. So
Season 2 would have to be in like 3 parts.
Yeah, I would say 3 parts.
Because the last part would definitely be, well, we won't get in there, but, you know, it would.
Yeah.
It's pretty extensive, you know. And as much as I really want Season 2 to happen, we've said this before. It's got to be a different studio, man. There's just too much gold in Season 2 that, I mean, Crunchyroll's doing a great job right now. I'm not gonna lie. They're doing great with their production. I'm really liking it a lot, but for season 2, it's got to be a bigger player. It's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind this. I forget the studio's name that's doing it, but I wouldn't mind this specific art style. But if they can change it up, they definitely should. Yeah.
But going back to the episode, man, we had our drop of Andrassi and Dorsey and my girl Hiwa reunion. Man, they look so good.
Man, their fight was great.
There was a couple differences between the manhwa and the anime, but I think it was fine. I think it worked out. And man, this is a kid show, but I really want to be stepped on by both of them.
This is not a kid show, dude. You saw
give me the big boot right now.
Oh my god, bro.
But no, I mean, the fight was great. You know, the explanation of Kuhn's bag was great. You know, the execution of like each round was phenomenal. I think that whole part, the 1-for-1s, super good. Really, really good stuff. I watched the episode twice, man, and just that whole fight was, man, so good.
I like honestly, to this day, moment in time right now, 2020, is I still can't believe that we were just supposed to take the fact that 3 regulars just fucking went inside a bag for like a round and then just popped out like nothing. Like, we were just supposed to take that, dude. I'm fine with it, but
dude, it was like Pokemon. Dude, it was just like Pokemon. It's like, hey, get in the bag.
Dude, that's not there yet, bro. That's like season 2. That's like the end of season 2, bro.
No,
we're not at Pokemon references yet.
I mean, with the bag though, it's like, hey, get in the bag. I'm gonna let you out later. No, but it was good. I forgot what they look like too. So when I was rereading the chapter, I was like, oh, okay, that's who they were.
Yeah, like I remember he had somebody in there, but I forgot it was a whole team that helps him at this part. Yeah, a lot of good stuff here. I thought it was great too, the whole labor row and was it Hansung when they were talking?
Dude, you know,
that was some good stuff.
You know what cracked me up, and I totally forgot about it, but then I saw that it was actually in the manhwa, was when he goes to him, he goes, oh, do you want some coffee? And then he sees like the whole machine for it. He goes, oh, wow, you're really serious about that, huh? And it's like, oh, here's some instant coffee. It's like, oh. It's like, this is my special cafe latte.
That shit was still... Oh my god. That was good watching it. That was good reading it, man.
It was great.
The little flick of the coffee into his cheek was like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it just goes on his. Dude, but the biggest difference, we need to acknowledge it, man. The elephant in the room, because I don't really know how I feel about it still. So when we get to the scene where Bam has his moment of Shinsu, and then we get this whole fucking Dio, the world time stops for a quick minute, and Black March comes out. That's not in the manhwa, and I don't know if they're trying to build this relationship between Black March and Bam, which, I mean, it is noted much later on, but I don't really know how I feel about it, because then he turns around
much later on.
and kind of goes into a rage, and in the manhwa, he kind of does what he does and then passes out. He doesn't come back to. He actually just, boom, right then and there, he's done.
So there was no explanation for why he just passed out?
Yeah, so what happened in the manhwa, Gerry? 'Cause, like you said, you didn't check it out.
Yeah.
He just, he still gets hit in the head by Hwaryun.
Yeah.
And then he does shoot out the Shinsu, but we don't physically see it like we do in the episode. We just see like this gust of wind, her eye gets cut, and then he just knocks out.
Yeah, and then it cuts to the Lero Hansung scene. So that whole thing with Black March doesn't even happen. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Okay, good, because I thought he would have stabbed her. I thought he stabbed her in the eye with the Black March or something, like slashed her somehow, kind of shit. But fuck.
Mm-hmm. No, it was the Shinsu that cracked her mask and then hit her in the eye. That's crazy. So I mean, like I said, I love Black March. I love the way that she's animated. I just don't know what kind of direction they're going for their relationship, because much later on we see what the relationship is, and I don't think that's really prevalent in much of season 1 at all. So that part was interesting.
Maybe he's just throwing it in there for like later. I don't know that. I don't know.
I think it's to show off what these weapons are capable of. Yeah, what these weapons are, because I mean, like you said, if not to really give anything away, but from what we've seen in the manhwa with Black March, it's not a whole lot.
Yeah,
like there was like one good moment with Yuri, but other than that, yeah, there's really not a whole lot going on when it comes to these weapons yet. Anyways, as the manhwa keeps getting crazier and crazier, right? I think it's just to show, like, oh, like, yeah, these are powerful weapons, and that's why they have the emblem of Jihad or Zahard, as I think the official thing is for the anime. Oh no, Jihad. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was really nice to see. I was not expecting it at all. But it just didn't sit well with me for a little bit. You know, I think that was the purist in me coming out. But if I look at it just from the anime approach, I think it was really nice because it's like you said, it displays the power that these weapons do have, you know, and it's not just the sheer power that they have, but it really shows that there's a persona inside of these weapons.
Yeah,
you know,
these weapons are shut. So, all right,
these weapons are
but yeah,
there's
some kind of sentience. Yeah. These weapons are very much alive, basically, and you find out later that literally, like they were alive or are alive. In some kind of weird fucking purgatory like state, but it's like not till later.
And this moment with Black March is pretty anime as well.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Oh,
dude,
very
I'm not gonna lie. I was really ready.
For
I was ready for that dubstep sound that happens when you see the world stop time for the first time in JoJo, like, but it didn't happen, man. So the second time I watched it, I just did it for myself.
So good.
I do gotta say, having Bam stand up and straight up about to kill Hwarun in the anime versus him just passing on the manhwa, I think it's a good touch.
Yeah.
Just to show how obsessive Bam is with Rachel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good touch.
You know, I just thought of this too. Going with things that happened towards the end of the first season, that can be a really nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
No, without giving any spoilers, that's going to be a really great touch, and it'll be a really great flashback scene. But yeah, I think that being one of the biggest differences between the manhwa and the anime, overall, it was really good. I mean, the episodes just keep getting better and better for me, to be honest with you. I'm really enjoying this. This is a fun ride. I don't want the ride to stop.
Yeah, look, exactly, dude. Look, from a lore standpoint, there's so much to this world. It's so good. Like, cause they're honestly, I feel like for me, they're delivering it pretty smoothly. But like, because the fact that I myself, I ever read this content before, like, I kind of want to already like, all right, get to the good shit. Go. But it's, for the most part, like, looking at it without the bias, it's pretty smooth paced. I really enjoy this one. This is a good ride. I'm like in the front next to Adam with my arms raised.
Don't stop the train, man. Just keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to next episode after this, because like Libero said, we have all these guys having a 3-day break, so we're gonna see some downtime with our characters. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the funny moments coming up.
That's gonna be cool
in the manhwa.
I think so.
With Rack, I can't wait for that.
I think we're also gonna get the classes too, which that's what I've been waiting for, man.
Just the whole explanation of that.
Yep, it's gonna be fun.
It'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where the real measurement of pacing is going to come in once the anime starts teaching us about the rules of the tower.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These specific rules, anyway.
I forgot a major part in season 2 that I just remembered right now, and it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. You already know. See, the hive mind is real, guys. Watch Tower.
Read Tower. Support
Read Tower.
Everything for Tower. Buy the shirts.
Buy the shirts! Now you can buy the fucking merch, dude. Go buy the shirts.
Yeah. Oh, so this will lead into the next segment here for the manhwa, but yeah, overall great episode. And like you said, Adam, music's great. Andrasi was good.
Oh yeah.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. When Hwarun's mask, cracked off and then it showed off her hair, and I'm like, I like this style of her hair.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I really like, because in the manhwa it's like straight. It's straight hair, But here it's like freaking wild.
Hell yeah,
dude! I love her, man.
Well, for now, I don't know how it's gonna look later on, because I feel like me as a ecchi connoisseur, I feel like this is the only time. Where you get to see Hwarun at her prime, if you know what I mean. Because like when you read if you've been reading like with us, you kind of see like she kind of just tends to dress more conservatively after this.
Well, let's just say she was not drawn like that in the manhwa.
Look, Danny, you and I said this before we did the show, man. Whoever the director was for this episode, you are my guy. I appreciate you, and thank you very much. Hwarun is easily one of my favorite Tower characters for many reasons, and to see her come out this way, man, I am happy. Please keep her the same way.
Oh, and Gerry, I don't know how you felt about this, but when I was watching these scenes of Kun getting a little too close to Bam like that.
Oh my god! No, I yelled, dude.
Look, no, this is a kid's show. We're not talking about that.
But I fucking yelled it out loud, bro. I'm like, oh! No, I meant Yowie. Yowie! That's what I'm saying.
It's a kid's show, man.
And I'm like, oh yeah, they know the real fans for
Hell
Tower,
yeah!
for sure.
And then he laid out, he had the audacity to lay on his knees. It was so adorable.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, I was just like, okay. Alright.
This is also part of the ride we're on, and we just have to...
It's there, dude! It's there, take it, dude, it's cute.
I'm not gonna lie, the second time I watched it, I was like, this is just Sora and Riku all over again, man. Where's the islands? Cue simple and clean right now.
Oh my god, bro. Does that make Rock, Kairi?
Yes, Rack is Kairi.
No, and as always, Rack is great in this episode.
Dude, I love that it's All Might doing his voice, man. It fits so well. I love it. With these Rack moments that we get they get better and better every single time.
So with that, I'd say that could wrap us up for the anime section of this episode. And let's go ahead and get right into the manhwa section, Season 3, Episode 59. A Rough War continues. But before we get in there, because I didn't want to bring it up because of spoilers, but in the anime, they didn't mention Evankel, right, when Leibero and Hansung was talking.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the manhwa, they're sitting there, and he's just like, oh, Leibero, I didn't realize you're taller than I thought. He's like, oh, yeah, I mean, because every time you saw me, I was next to Evankel, and you know how tall she is. And I was just like, oh, yeah, last chapter, they mentioned, like, she restricted her body, so that's why she's not as tall.
So this follows the One Piece standards of like the bigger you are, the fucking more badass you are, dude. Like the
more buff
bigger
you
the
are.
size, the buffer you are, the more shinso you could fucking hold in your body or something. I don't know, man.
So anyways, I just wanted to bring that up because I was like, oh yeah, because that just got brought up in the manhwa. And I was like, I was very surprised when they brought that up so early in Tower of God. And I was like, yeah, you're not even going to remember that by the time you get to Evankel anyways.
Yeah. It'd be nice, though.
Yeah. So we start off where we left off when Karaka trapped this general, I guess inside where his heart is kept.
I think this is the second time we've seen this part of Karaka, though.
Chion He.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I remember seeing his heart before.
Yeah, interesting stuff here. Her outfit, we didn't bring it up last time, but her outfit's freaking fire.
Dude,
too.
all the fits,
really?
Man.
Honestly?
I need to find a tailor, bro. A tailor needs to make me all of these suits. Dude, fuck it, I'm buy a sewing machine, man. I know how to sew.
That shit is
I'll make
silk,
my own fits.
bro. She has one eye closed all the time. Do you guys realize that? She has one eye closed all the time, dude. Her left eye is closed the whole time, dude. That anime shit, I love, man.
Yeah. And then here we see Hang Sung's in here, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess I didn't think of where he was this whole time.
Honestly, right? For real. Like, he showed up out of nowhere. I'm like, I'll just take it, whatever. Because I honestly could not. I was gonna leave it up to you to go back and see when the last time we saw him was. So when was the last time we saw him? I don't remember. Fuck.
I'm pretty sure when everything was being planned, and then I want to say that the last time we got something with Han Sung-yu when this arc started was, or maybe it was the last arc, where Bam is talking about how Han Sung-yu was teaching him that technique with the infinite Shinsu that he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, he did tell them, yeah. And if you look behind him, he's got like these spirits from Devil May Cry, right? He's straight up V. He's got this raven, he's got this giant monster in the back.
And again, this is not the first time we've been inside Karaka's heart. I can't remember where it was somewhere in season 2.
I think wasn't he fighting Yuri?
I think
he was fighting Yuri. Yeah.
It might have been then, but for me, I was like, okay, cool. Like, this is more of Karaka, which is really nice, which actually, the rest of the chapter kind of seems to follow suit. And Karaka's been another favorite of mine for a little while because he's got so much mystery behind him, although I do have some theories on who he is. But I think it was a really nice way to start the chapter.
Yeah, I like the Karaka focus, yeah. And I also didn't realize that Calivan's been tied up. He has one arm tied up this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. This guy's a monster with one arm, dude.
Yeah, man. Dude, it's crazy. Like, I didn't realize he had it still on him, dude. I just remember, like, when he started over, he had the shit strapped to his back. I thought, like, I don't know, the army brought him in or something, but I feel like I remember him saying that I have to have these bands around my arms so I don't use the full power, because he said it's really destructive. But I don't know if he said, like, if he can, it makes me believe that, like, he probably can't control it all yet, is what I'm trying to say.
I fully believe that.
Yeah. So, like, in the like I said in the beginning, like, I thought his arm was just like, because he was brought in as a, like, jihad force, but turns out he might be just a bit, he might just be a bitch.
He might. But no, and if you remember too, Calivan guarded that power of bravery for thousands of years.
What? Wait. Was that how long it's been?
No, his family line has always been guarding it.
Yeah. So when he finally got it, maybe he couldn't even use it. But I'm pretty sure I remember that one of the reasons why he tied his arm behind his back is because when he was demoted, he felt he couldn't use that full power.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
He felt he wasn't worthy to use his full power because he was demoted, because he let Bam get away. It's like, if I can't beat this dude with both of my arms, then I'm just gonna try and do it.
That sounds
with
like
one.
him.
You know what I mean?
That's more him. Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, there are certain shots in here that I looked at it and I'm like, it looks like he's using it, but then there's that one shot where you literally see it still tied behind his back. I was like, okay, no.
Yeah,
he's
bro.
still going one arm this whole way.
he's still one arm, bro.
He's still
I could kill all of you
man.
with one arm behind my back.
Dude,
fucking God,
dude,
bro.
He's doing the whole Oron from Final Fantasy X. Like, no, I just need one hand to carry this sword, dude.
Man. Okay. Complete side note. Is that because it's been Americanized? Or is Oron really without an arm in the Japanese version? Or is he really just not using his arm because he doesn't want to?
He doesn't use the arm because he doesn't want to.
Oh my God, bro. I gotta play this game now. I'm so glad I have it, dude. I'm gonna give it back to you when I'm done. That's gonna be after Kingdom Hearts. I'm gonna play that fucking...
Yeah, dude, just take your time with it. It's a wild ride. But
yeah, bro.
Going back to the chapter, one thing that I thought was really important and really nice to see is that we've always seen a relationship between Bam and Jing Sung Ha, their master, and then we get the other side of it. We got the Karaka side and how he gave him that armor, and when I saw that, I was like, oh, dude, my heart, man. Like, I already liked you, dude, but now I like you more, dude. My whole
Yeah.
Kokoro like dropped for a moment.
He's like, this will help you survive. I'm like, oh, like
Dude,
a father.
and then seeing Bam make the conviction, he goes, no. If I go save him, he's not going to be happy if I don't go with you, dude. We're going together.
Exactly,
you
bro.
my homie now, man. And just that whole, dude, that whole sequence, I felt like, dude, you know what, man? Bam, you're just such a wholehearted person. And Karaka, just fucking go with it, bro. Just be
Yeah,
that
bro.
guy. Just do it. And the thing that topped it all off for me was how they both used his attack against Caliban.
I know,
dude. I was
so
like,
good.
okay, you know what? That's really cool. I really enjoyed that.
So it's so anime, bro.
It really was.
So anime. Calivan's dialogue right here when he's talking to Karaka is probably my favorite from this chapter. Just him talking about how, like, yeah, Jing Sung, he offered me a slayer position, but I refused. And that's because that creates fake gods, and he's going through this whole monologue. And I was like, fuck, this is so good.
Yeah, because it really brought about a different perspective on how Jin Sung Ha like made all these Slayer candidates, and I mean I'm pretty sure his mind has changed, but from Bam into now, but Calivan definitely doesn't know that. He doesn't know how his feelings are towards Bam because they never really had that conversation. They were just duking it out the whole time, and he was telling him like, no, wait for this student. He is going to change everything. Because I'm pretty sure if Calivan understood the idea that Jin Sung Ha had towards Bam versus Karaka, like as far as Slayer candidates go, be a totally different story. But again, I fully respect how Calivan is like, I really don't want to do this to your students. He holds all this honor for both of them and even for him. I want to say that Calivan looks at Jin Sung Ha as his own teacher as well.
I just want to say, side note, like, you know how Karaka looks all the fucking time, like all pissed off and shit, like with the scowl. You don't even see his facial features, but you just know he's like always pissed off, always grumpy and shit. But like this one panel where like, he hits him with the fucking double white crow strike, the level 2 airwave. Like right after that, when he told him that fucking that Jin Sung offered him his fucking slave position, but he said fuck that. The panel after that where he just looks at Caliban, where Karaka just looks at Caliban, dude, that's the only time I see like Karaka have a different emotion on his face, like a oh shit kind of thing. Like a oh fuck. Like when he grabbed onto his arm and just look at him, dude. Fuck.
I have it up, and you know what? Great point, dude.
That face right there, like all you see is the eyes and shit, but that says enough. Like, I'm fucked. Like I think they even said it earlier on in the earlier chapters where they're like, where he said it himself. He's like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to be enough. Or he said it earlier. He's like, what do you say? He's like, I'm sorry, I won't be able to keep that promise or whatever. Like later on in the chapter.
Oh yeah. Where it has that little flashback with his teacher about surviving. He goes, I don't think I'll be able to do it for the purpose that I wanted, but I need to do this. And then that's where it pans over to the whole Caliban scene with him.
Oh yeah.
And then fucking Bam to the rescue. He goes, nah, man, we going together. We doing this.
We're getting past the wall.
And dude, speaking of Bam, when did he pop the thorn out?
Dude.
Oh, dude, I was thinking about that.
Because he didn't have it last time we saw him.
I think it all came out at that same time. Or he pulled it out at that same time.
I was like, why? He's using a thorn now. So I guess it's okay. Because remember, he's like, I can't use it unless Evankel says so.
Well, see,
and he also popped out his horns too.
Right?
Yeah, he did.
In this chapter.
Well, see, I think it's because right before we get to that whole little monologue where Bam is remembering what Evankel told him to do in case they do get caught with Caliban, he might have just pulled it out the thorn and then decided, you know what? Okay, Evankel said you got 3 options. 1, you run away. 2, you wait for reinforcements. 3, you just do the best you can. You know,
like hell.
And I think the thorn came out shortly before that, but then he busted out the horns, because apparently he has the fang with him as well.
Yep.
which
What Fang?
he's at the very I think he has Doom's Fang.
He still had, yeah, remember Doom gave him the, dude, I don't even remember if it's a Fang. I don't even remember if it's
Because
a Fang. But he gave
at
him
the
something.
very end, there's that where they're talking about all the options. There's this panel that says you've got the Fang, you can hurt Caliban with it now. So on top of the Thorn and his horns, the red Tharissa power, the fucking blue demon, now he's got some canine power in him. Don't know where this is gonna come out, but it's there. Which is why I think he could do those 3 huge bangs. Well, 3 huge orbs now, what they're called.
Orbs. They're called.
Dude, it
The
changed.
orb.
Dude,
No,
it was,
no. Yeah, I feel like at a certain like point, bangs become orbs. Like it's just that amount of power, the amount of Shinsu that's like concentrated inside them.
that's
You know
what
how,
I
like,
was thinking too.
You know how he struggled so much just to get like a. No, he didn't struggle. This fool got like 5 bangs out in one go, and like everybody could barely produce one. Dude, now the orbs. Fuck.
I think it started off. Dude, was it rooms? No, it was always bangs. The lighthouse were rooms. So I think it went from bangs. Then at some point in the last season, it went over to orbs.
To orbs.
But I mean, this guy's power scaling like he's a Super Saiyan, man. Like we've
talked about this man.
Before. It's crazy.
And it's still not enough to take down Caliban, man. Hopefully.
Wait, man, you know what this chapter got me thinking about the series right now is, I like where it's going right now, but what's the point of having floors now? Right? Because we've been going all over the place, like different floors keep going higher and higher, and I keep thinking, I'm like, does Bam and them have permission to keep going up? Right? Because remember, you gotta take a test every time. And like, I know they're not showing us anymore.
Remember, they were still on the hell train for the longest time, bro. That was just them going through like a amount of floors so many times. I feel. Are they still on the station? Are they still on the train? Like, are they on the station, or are they still
no? So
is this it?
Okay,
no,
so
they jumped like 5-10 floors.
Yeah, so
from last.
So
time.
the hell train, the reason from what I can remember is called the hell train is because you have to go through all this shit pretty much to pass all these floors. Like you don't necessarily have to continuously do tests, but you have to go through all of this and then go into the data world if you have that secret key, which they got into on the floor of death. To pass all these floors.
Fuck,
right?
I did not even remember that. This is really Kingdom Hearts, a data world. Fuck.
Yeah, dude. I don't even want to get into the data world right now because that was a whole mess and a half. But they're also working with FUG at this point, and they have their own way of navigating through the tower. So that's why I'm thinking we're not seeing all these
back
tests
doors
because
and shit, man.
Exactly. So that's why they're just like moving around. Because now they're really with FUG, like even though they're not fully associated.
They're like Organization 13. That's your Organization 13, bro.
Dude,
it's FUG.
Everything.
God, it's all right here, dude.
I'm telling you, man.
We can never get away from Nomura.
Dude, Sue is just Nomura. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Danny, I'm thinking that's why we're not seeing so many tests. Is because FUG knows their way around, or FUG. There's no reason for them to take tests. They know how to cut corners, especially now that they have the attention of the elders to kind of help them out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think watching the anime made me think of it a lot because I'm like, oh yeah, they're taking tests, they're moving forward, they're progressing. And then it just gets me thinking, I was like, yeah, sometimes I feel like the series is just moving a little too fast right now. Because you have to remember, it's like, technically, Bam is still a D rank regular. We need like a breath to catch up about what just happened with everybody.
I completely agree with you. Completely agree.
Can you guys believe when I first read the manhwa and when I first read the word FUG, I was like, FUG.
You're not the only one, man.
No, they're like, it sounds bad. FUG.
You're not the only one, man. I promise you.
Man.
No, this was a really good chapter, though. I mean, the Karaka scenes were really nice. The Caliban dialogue was really great.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see what Bam's gonna pull out of his ass this next one. But I also really kind of want to go back to the Doom fight and the Evankill thing. I kind of want to see all of it, But I like what they're doing with like, okay, here's a chapter about this and that. Now here's a chapter about that.
Yeah, well, I was surprised this was all focused just on the Caliban fight. Aside from the beginning, because I think last chapter it was like 2 parts, but here it's just like, no, but we got to focus on this right now. It's great.
I just want to keep saying, man, the coloring, it's just,
it's so good.
So good. It's just so good. Every week I'm like, dude, I wish I could color like that, man. You give me a coloring book and I could try, but
dude.
This
fool says, "I wish I could color like that."
Dude, I know I can't, man. Dude, I'm like Fry in that episode of Futurama. I got stupid hands. I can't play the holophone. I can't color. I always went outside the lines.
No, but yeah, this art style is really good. I like how honestly the anime looks more like this season Tower of God. Like it's drawn more to that style. I feel like it's a lot more clearer.
I don't know about you guys, but there were some shots of Bam in this where I felt like this art doesn't look the same. Like it felt different.
Yeah, I've been feeling that way for like the last 2 chapters. Well, the last few chapters that had Bam in it, like his face kind of looks weird sometimes.
When he didn't have temples.
Like there's the shot where he attacks Caliban, and you just look at his face, and it's like, yeah, it doesn't look like SIU's art.
Yeah, it doesn't.
For a few panels, yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
That's not the first time I've noticed that, Danny. There's been a few times where I'm like, I don't know, why does he look kind of weird? But I haven't really let it bug me yet. But it's starting to show a little bit. I don't know if it's someone else. It hasn't really bugged me yet.
You know what I love about this?
What's up?
After Karaka and Bam both hit Caliban with 2 of them, right? And he's just standing there menacingly. So Bam is like, maybe I gotta go out about it a different way. So the sound effect, mind you, all 3 of these guys are in mid-air, dude. Alright? The sound effect is step. Like, what? Just,
Daily
what are they
reminder,
stepping
there's
on?
bullshit in this series, man.
Just make it like make it that next panel, the shh, just a fucking, like he's like, or just a exhale, not like a step. Step on what? The pedals? Fuck.
Yeah, I just went back. I see that step 1 in there, and it's like, like Danny said, man. Now we're in Bleach territory.
Oh my god, for real, dude.
Weekly reminder, bro. We're in that Bleach bullshit right now.
Fuck.
But yeah, man, this definitely got me hyped for next chapter. I kind of want it to continue the Bam fight, but I don't know. The way the past few chapters, they're all going all over the place at a good pace. So we're probably not going to see. I'm betting we probably won't see it next chapter, but I want to see it. I want to see more.
I'm with you. I mean, I also want to see my girl. I want to see how buff she really is too. But I would be content with another full chapter, with this whole scene, especially with just with the flashback. I just feel that it's so important to like expand on the moment of this chapter between these 3 characters.
I think definitely the most interesting part from this chapter was all with Karaka, right? We we enter back this place where his true heart is. This armor is to protect him, which goes into that weird that one theory that you had, Adam, with the with him and a
Wangnan.
Kind of leans more towards that.
I'm telling you, man, I got to make a YouTube video about it. I feel it, dude. I feel it so strongly. There's a reason why Jin Seung-ha gave him this armor to survive, and that he mentions that all he's worn is armor his whole life. That is such a big moment, and it's gonna come back later. If I'm right about my theory, man, I called it. Again, we need to do a whole episode just on our tower theories. Trust me. Once I've stopped writing all my FF7 theories on my whiteboard, I'm gonna scrap it all out and start putting my tower theories on there.
All right, this is the new conspiracy. Shout out to Eisenhower Richard over here on the Webtoons comments. he has a power checklist right here. So Bam has a red Thrissa on right now. He has the needles. He has 3 orbs ready to go. And then he has the souls from the fucking he fought Helljoe.
Yeah, from that one part of White. I forget about that he has those.
No, that's from the Floor of Death.
Yeah, the Floor of Death, that's what it's called. Yeah. So he has all those souls. He has the Black March inside him, ignited, and he's his fucking kung fu martial arts. And it's funny because somebody said he's like, am I missing something? And somebody's like the cycle of endless Shinsu.
Since we're talking about all these damn power-ups Bam has, I was going through some tower stuff online, and so he has the blue horn, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, that's not for the souls though, because he hasn't fully tapped into the souls. Don't forget, there's that blue demon inside of him, right? That's been there this whole time. Somebody referenced it as a blue Thrissa.
No way.
As its own. Yeah, so I think that might have been the same thing that I read, Danny. But it's someone that I read it somewhere that they referenced it as its own administrator, as its own administrative power, along with the red Thrissa, which is where we get this whole like purple black nonsense that Bam has.
Purple black kind of thing, yeah. Oh, okay.
So we get the red, the blue. And then obviously the thorn just comes out of nowhere, and then we have the souls from White. We get the Black March, dude. We get all this crazy stuff, And honestly, going along with that, we already know that when he does that transformation, he gets the red Thrissa. But what I'm really hoping to see is that we get something with that blue demon inside of him, to kind of use the two simultaneously, so to speak.
Yeah, because if you remember, the red Thrissa was able to cut Caliban. Mm-hmm. I wonder what it's going to look like for this for the blue power up.
Dude, I'm still just waiting to see Croc's face, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, my theory.
We got to look at his hair's blonde, right? We got to look at that before.
Yeah, it is blonde, which is why I'm not getting into it right now.
I know, dude.
I'd be talking for like 2 hours about this dude, man.
So with that, it's going to wrap us up today. Another great week for Tower.
Excellent.
Can't wait for a new episode, a new chapter. It's going to be so good.
Next week, though.
It's a good community, man. It's really active.
Next week, though.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be... It's going to just explode, bro.
I think I am on majority of the fan base where they weren't a big fans of the yellow Shinsu that Bam used in the anime, and I'm like, yeah, that's understandable.
I mean, dude, like I said, outside of the show, the music hyped me up for it. I was all for it.
So yeah, guys, thanks for listening. As always, you can email us at unversedpodcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions or comments, what are you thinking of Tower of God so far? What are your theories coming up for the Mamo? We'd love to hear your thoughts, and we'll talk about it on the next episode. Give us a follow on Unversed Podcast anywhere you go on social media. Stay up to date when the latest episodes drop. And that's all for us today, guys. So thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Okay, Clap Trap, Hype Track, your boy Kill Bill, Tsunami Gang, Grindhouse, Swag, Bang Dang. You already know what the deal is. Let's get it. Shut the fuck up, Skype. I'm a beast-like creature when I recite features. Break a rapper down by the piece like Reese's. Tall motherfuckers smoking me hype reefers. Mini-me rappers couldn't reach my sneakers. We high leaping, leaning, be right peeking. We ride or die G, fuck police, die reeking. Either talk him down, throw the peace sign, leap it. Fuck another rapper, I'ma keep him out of reaching. Swagger to the pinnacle, then it's some raw ventricle. They don't want the beef, it's business at y'all minimal. Things on the teeth, I'm living what y'all pretend to do. Base food, the beast, defender, I'm hard cynical. Goldberg spitting, pretenders at y'all now. next. Be my teeth tearing and ripping through y'all's necks. Kill Bill, spit with precision, no contest. Real deal living, I'm getting it, I'm blessed. I dismember your sentences, I'm gutting your words. I'm the living definitive of fuck it and burn. Then it's still all your business and I'm rushing your herd. Still that shit, fuck the innocent, fuck what you heard. Can I remember the rush of the words? A couple of verbs, I'm crushing the herbs and loving it. When I win, I'm about winning the devil and serve. I fuck with the dirt, it's fucking absurd. You fucking with young K.I.L. My shells don't miss. Fuck everybody else, gangrene, dope shit. Staccato, creeping low like gelatos. My bars to your face to gelato. God to your ass, got no for pure passing. And not one time I come with less than pure passion. Who you know can stand toe to toe, rapping dope box with the devil cause a rope of dope's lasting. Fire blasting my phone, they wiretapping my homies and sire slapping my bones at the highest lasting. Beast mode spits out of manium claws. Not a fan of Kill Bill, but you're a fan of his boss. Head man up in charge. Ask R-Ab, y'all whack rappers on the shelf, spitting mannequin bars. Solo, dolo rapper, but dose of the focus happen. Sharpening my blades, let my skill show real slow. Fuck y'all dildos.